Hello, Ghost Hunters! The newest event in Phasmophobia just released. Let's take a look. If you've participated in the previous holiday events for Phasmophobia, just know this year the Santa Ghost will not be making an appearance. But there is still a new and unique event in Phasmophobia, and let's just start by saying it's clear why Phasmophobia is not a shooter game. When entering the game, you can click here to get the information regarding this holiday event. You'll be starting in Sunny Meadows, not restricted, to find the 3 parts of this mysterious device that you'll need to complete this event. These are not hard to find, and if you want to do so on your own, then I highly recommend you do. I personally changed my game to a custom setting that gave me infinite sprinting and no sanity drain, and ran quickly through the location. I recommend you do so as well, or if you want to keep things spicy, try to find them while also hunting a ghost. Go ahead and give it a go. Here is where you'll find all 3 parts of your device. They are easily spotted with a helpful snowman pointing you in the right direction. Once all 3 are collected, you can head back to the lobby. You now need to head out to any of the locations with a snowman on them. And let me say, this part is kind of hard. There's 2 things to keep in mind here. Phasmophobia is not a shooter game, so sometimes despite aiming correctly, you'll need to readjust a tad to actually make contact with these dancing snowmen. Also, these snowmen can be found outside your location and even in out-of-bound areas where players cannot access. Because I get it, sometimes the most obvious places are easy to overlook, I've tried to include as many of the harder to find snowmen here in this video. But as each location contains at least 30 dancing snowmen, we're talking well over 200 snowmen to include in this video. That's a lot of snowmen. So get the obvious ones, and if you struggle, check here in my video for any you might have missed. I've included the ones I struggled with most for this reason specifically. And the second thing to keep in mind, look up, look down, and check behind doors or in corners. I found no snowmen inside of cabinets with the exception of Bleasdale, so you won't have to check those areas. Sometimes it helps to turn your lights off, and sometimes it helps to turn the lights on in the room. And it is always helpful if you have the brightest flashlight to do this event. So hopefully someone in your group has upgraded their flashlight to a tier 3. When you found all of your snowmen, make sure you're in a safe spot, because that is when everything will go to darkness, and a hunt will begin. But no, this isn't the Santa Ghost. This time, it's a snowman ghost wielding a candy cane. And I guess this poor snowman in the lobby probably was a warning of what was to come. Either way, keep in mind, if you somehow don't survive this hunt, the location will still be checkmarked and will count towards your completion. Once all of your spots are completed, you'll receive this trophy and badge in your lobby. You may notice that your Easter event trophy, if you had one, is now moved to the bottom shelf. For those of you who are wanting to use the new badge, please note that your badge can be edited here, and you can choose 1 badge theme and 1 extra icon. Every event, someone seems to have issues with this. Whether this is due to the game or the player, I'm not really sure, but just covering my bases here. A couple of noteworthy changes that came along with this update. Your upgrade to the Tier 3 flashlight will now cost you slightly more than it did before. The Tier 3 igniter will now permanently extinguish after 10 minutes. If you've noticed that the Tier 2 salt was not consumable, even though it was supposed to be, it now will be. If you are unfortunate enough to meet your demise during your investigation, you will now receive the investigation bonuses that your teammates who survived received. This is great news for those of you who die often in your hunts. The summoning circle got an overhaul. You'll notice in your hunts that it now looks different and performs differently. The ghost writing book is now a throwable item if the ghost does not have that as evidence. Apparently, the parabolic microphone is an overachiever and was finishing its own objective, if turned on and in the correct area, but not being held by a player. It's been properly punished and will no longer do so. There are several other changes that came with this update that I haven't listed here. Some you may notice, some you may not. I've tried to include all the patch notes here for you to read through if you are interested. What did you think of this event? Did you like it more than the previous holiday events? Did you struggle with finding any particular sneaky snowmen? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, happy hunting!